Good evening.
Who was that? Who was in charge of the buttons tonight? Come on.
I can say with clear conscience it wasn't me. It was not me.
This time. I got it timed on the music. I didn't press it twice like I did last week, and we put our random faces in there for a split second. I thought it went well tonight. What I need to do is listen to that music a bit more and try and work out the exact right point. Hello everyone, welcome to Cloudy Charts of Games, the home of the cloud gaming community. It's Friday night, and once again it's our Cloudy's Roundup stream where we'll go through the cloud gaming platforms, give a little chat about each one, giving us the news and the reactions, whether it's positive or negative. As always, it's the troublesome trio of myself, Sammy in the cloud, Barry 100 himself, Paramedic Games, and of course I'm very sorry Duncan's here once again.
Am I the bad boy anymore?
That's an interesting comment. Let's move on quickly from that comment. Despite the fact everything I've just said about myself being in control of the video, I'm not in control of the slides. That's normally Barry's responsibility, so I'm going to give him a few seconds just to tee up, even though I'm pretty certain I know which one's going to be first.
Oh yeah, just before this one is going to be a lot shorter. We are on a time scale. We're trying to get this finished by 8 o'clock because we've got our world famous Stadia Pro predictions on 8 o'clock, which we always get right.
Yes. Yep. Any game that we predict, you can absolutely guarantee 100% will not be in Stadia Pro games next month.
Well, we didn't do too bad last month, did we?
We got one.
Yeah, we got at least 3.
And Duncan with his Brucey bonus as well. So got to be fair.
Yeah, we got 3. No one predicted Star Wars on the stream last time. Duncan's still claiming. You're still claiming you've got the. We didn't know there was going to be an extra pro game this month.
I got it right. I got the extra pro game right.
You got it right. Not on the pro prediction stream we did. You got it right on another stream that we did, which is coincidentally just become as famous. But
why did that one come famous? Oh, I just remember. No, don't talk about that. We don't talk about that one.
That was that stream.
There's so many things.
It's been a fun month in cloud gaming, and an even more fun month on this channel. If you want to keep up to date with that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. How about that? Hey, nice little thing.
Oh yeah. Oh geez, I keep on forgetting about all the mischief we get up to, or alleged mischief we get up to, and get blamed for everything under the sun when we actually don't do.
Moving on.
Yeah. Should we move out of the cloud and into the shadows to kick off?
Oh, I suppose we're in shadow first. We've kicked off first with Shadow for the last couple of weeks now. This week we do actually have some news. Obviously, last week we heard that they're dropping the Ultra and Infinite lines and just staying with Shadow Boost, which is their base level subscription. This week they announced that base level subscription will be increasing in price. I've got a feeling it's been double.
There we go.
Duncan's nodding, so thanks very much for just leaving it silent. As someone who doesn't have a Shadow, or someone who's not paying for a Shadow subscription, I don't think this is great news, to be honest, because that's just going to limit. Less people going to want to pay £33.99, for a subscription. It's their base level, which gives you effectively PC I've got up my feet. It's roughly a 1060 graphics card, I think it's 16 gig of RAM, and 500 gig storage. It's nice that they've got some clarity on what they're doing with it and how they're going to go forward with it, but I'm not sure that's going to be great news for people like us, people who want to use it for a gaming service.
Yeah, here's the thing. This is the paradoxical sort of thing. Or not paradoxical, is probably the wrong terminology. The price point of Shadow, at that, even with doubling the money, I know it sounds like a hell of a lot of money. It is a hell of a lot of money, but for what you're getting, it is reasonable bang for your buck. You could make the argument it was under that it should have been. I haven't heard if it's going to upgrade or price is going to increase in the UK as yet, but I do know that it's definitely happening in the States.
I heard it was increased to all markets. I think the number was £33.99 everywhere. So that's £33.99, €33.99, $33.99.
See, Kelly knows how much I'm paying for this anyway, because I'm paying at this moment in time. I'm just paying under £30 a month for it anyway. But I've paid for the extra storage because you get not that much storage on it. Again, storage is really, really important. This is not unexpected news. I think we were sort of. I had my head around that we're going to get a price increase. This could be the soft way of trying to limit the numbers so they can start moving it into a different form. This is like, we're doubling the price here just to keep everything going. You hear doubling the price. What do you say?
Yep.
So it's like a soft way of getting rid of the numbers so they can be evolved into something else.
Yeah, I think it's probably my thoughts are probably feed a little bit off what you've just said. Obviously, they kind of run into a bit of financial troubles. Maybe the price point wasn't quite right. Clearly wasn't sustainable, and they've obviously had to take an action. I mean, yeah. To be honest, I don't think it's great news for anybody who uses the service and maybe who wants to use it, but in fairness to you, Duncan, you make a cracking point there that it could be to kind of maybe detract people from kind of signing up, cancel the pre-order, or those that really aren't into it or don't really need it will probably turn around and go away from the service.
For me, I will be continuing to do it here because it's really, really handy for us so we can actually offset when we're streaming, because it's really good for streaming when we're, even though we keep going about when we were doing our live streams about the shadow dag, just actually doing it is great. And when we do our weekends again, or Formula One weekends or whatever else we've got up our sleeves. Oh, I've got you worried now. Going, what is he talking about?
I thought you're not supposed to mention it. Yeah, I've barely mentioned it to anyone.
I don't know what you're talking about. That thing.
That thing, yeah.
No. I'm just talking just in general about when we're going to be doing any more of these wee things. We can do it. Okay, I'm going to put the. Oh, no, actually, I won't scare people. I won't. When I say people, I mean used to above me.
No, I get that Shadow is still very good for what you're paying, and what indeed you'll be paying £30 a month. Like, yeah, a PC under my foot for £30 a month. I'd probably take it. The difficulty is, as someone who's already got a PC like that under my foot, I don't want to be paying £30 a month for another one. That's why I was more interested in perhaps the higher tiers, which they've already pulled support for. So Shadow is my confidence a little bit.
Yeah, I don't blame you, to be completely frank. Shadow is probably the best PC in the cloud, just the way it all works together. Just like we say, Stadia is the best, probably at this moment in time, the best cloud console or cloud gaming sort of thing in the cloud. It's just disappointing news because no one wants to pay more money. That's being completely frank. So, Shadow, I'm still not confident in long term from a consumer sort of perspective. I will be still sticking around on it just because of the stuff I've been saying. I've got any other further thoughts in this?
Nope. I guess I'm still where I am on my kind of my thoughts of the service. So I've not really changed, and I don't think the price increase does anything to kind of do that either way.
I'm just going to shout some people out here in the chat. We've got some questions as well, and we're good at answering questions. We have.
This is a live stream.
This is Ginger. Hi, Ginger. And
Duncan's sleeping outside tonight.
Yes. We also have Stadia Fed. Hi, Stadia Fed. How is it going there? We have Zero Games for Me. We've got The Legend, which is Ray as well. We have Happy. We have...
to answer Ruben's question recently, yes, I am this week.
We can tell.
No, it's more you could tell last time. Yeah.
We also have Sean in the chat. Again, it's one of the OGs from the very beginning. See, I do pay attention to tweets. Charles will come on to this when we get to the GFN stuff. So, Barry, you better get researching.
Thanks.
Gandara, I'm going to take Gandara's point here. I think it's an absolutely fair point. For £30 a month, you can get a top-end PC. However, then we're back into you're paying for what you get. It's cloud gaming. You're going to get it updated eventually. You have no updates and all that sort of carry on, and constantly evolving. So there is that element as well, and it's completely lightweight. Again, it's horses for courses, and yeah, I totally get that point. So I do, and I'm just, if you can get the credit for it, yeah, £30 a month will get you a decent sort of PC a month. For over 2 or 3 years, you could probably get a reasonably spec one. So there is that. We have Mr. Let's Cheat in F1. I'm still not letting that go now, Jim, to be fair. Let's just put on.
It's his favourite track this weekend.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's true, yeah. Yeah, Monaco GP this weekend. So if you have a couple of hours free, Sky F1 in the UK or Channel 4 if you want to catch the highlights later on in the evenings. I'm going to miss qualifying, which, if you know Monaco, means I'm pretty much going to miss the race.
Don't worry, I will keep you updated and I'll spoil it for you.
I don't mind.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks. What real-time text updates, please?
Yes. Shall we
show us when Mazepin crashes?
Oh, I think probably there's another warm up during. There's another warm up tomorrow. There's another free practice.
He didn't crash. Oh no, he did.
He
did hit the wall. He did hit the wall. That's not quite the same in Monaco. It's not quite the same.
He forgot to. He forgot to turn.
Yeah, but Alonso forgot to turn at one of the corners. Yeah,
yeah.
That was a crash.
Yeah, but he told him to crap it now. That's his excuse.
Oh dear.
What? We are trying to finish 8 o'clock, so moving on.
Okay. Are we ready?
And Sammy's going.
Wait,
here.
That's not what I've put. Yeah.
Yes, I fixed it. I fixed it.
Good. Okay, go. You talk.
No, I don't. Look at this. There is a new game on Luna called Rogue Heroes. This was not announced as coming, as I believe.
No, I haven't.
And again, what I'm liking here, Luna seems to be actually mixing this up slightly, where they're doing the shadow drops, and they were also announcing what games are coming through the month, and this is a nice wee shadow drop. Colin, did we mention it last? Oh, we didn't mention this last week.
No, we didn't.
You know what I meant. Where am I going, Barry? For 5 points?
Oh, don't. It's your mind. It could be anywhere.
I know. It's usually in the gutter, but no. Where I'm going here is I don't think we mentioned it last week, where there is now hints of new channels coming to Luna.
Yeah.
I'll see. I occasionally know what I'm talking about. Very, very occasionally.
Occasionally.
Cloud Gamer actually found it, so absolutely big, massive props to him for finding this. It looks like there's a new channel coming to Luna, a family channel, and it also did. It's not a very family-friendly game. What was it called again? Was it Death Squared? That sounds very family-friendly, but it is family-friendly.
Oh no, but you can tell he found it and he wasn't supposed to. Because after we tweeted about it, after we publicised it, they took it down.
Yeah, it was gone after. It was like a proper whoopsie. We weren't supposed to push that button.
Yes, just like they forgot the
Like Frostbite on Destiny. Yeah.
And when Luna actually hit. Oh, there's new word on Luna. Oh, no, there's an away again. No, we're not talking about that again.
Oh, that's true. Back in the day as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Jem, not at this moment in time, but we'll let you know. But I think I think you know where all these adult channels are, because the rumors about you are just absolutely. We don't want to talk about them. So
Jem can just use a VPN to buy 1 month subscription to Luna, and then afterwards it'll renew. He doesn't need the VPN afterwards.
That's a good point. That is a good point. We'll probably come to that quickly here. When we're coming to Infamous Land. I mean, when we talk about Stadia.
Stay tuned, folks.
I'm not having the rant tonight, so I'm in the clear here.
That's narrowed the odds a bit. It's one out of the two of us.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So Luna, again, just adding these games, this looks like to be honest, it's for the first week in I don't know how many now, that doesn't actually look like a Luna game for me. That looks like we're just going to grab something here and stick it on. Because usually the last number of weeks or months, there's been, you can see what they're going for. Unless I've missed something about this game, I haven't heard absolutely anything about this one.
Yeah, it does feel like it's just kind of come out of nowhere, doesn't it? Not only just obviously it dropping onto the service, but you know, the absolute knowledge for the game just seems kind of completely left field. So odd choice. But then again, sometimes that's what they do, isn't it?
Second different interpretation I've seen from that background.
Yes, Ruben, I agree with that. I totally. Oh dear. Okay, so again, I think we need to go on here before Barry gets into that room in the back. So let's get going. So. So
yeah, xCloud has got it's got a few EA games on the platform already. So these are games that part of EA Play subscription, but you can play them on xCloud now. I think we had that with Madden 21. I know he mentioned it just about recently.
Yeah.
Well, I keep forgetting it. That's the same. But we've now got a couple of extra games which I've foolishly just
Peggle 2 and Plants vs Zombies.
Indeed.
Something I can't remember the rest of the Plants vs Zombies title.
That's all for Neighborville. So
there we go.
Yeah.
Yep. So they've obviously they've dropped into the service. They went on yesterday. So anybody who's got obviously Game Pass and access to xCloud in whichever flavor or variety that is available to you, obviously you can kind of jump in and enjoy those two. They seem to have had, I think this week they've added with a lot of the games they announced. We were going through on the green room last night, and there was probably about 50% of the list maybe, which was coming to the cloud. In kind of one way, shape, or form, and obviously, yeah, the EA Play ones were the ones that kind of stood out from their perspective. We also had SnowRunner as well, which Duncan was talking about yesterday, which I still haven't had a chance to try, but I am looking forward to at some point, maybe in the next week or two, getting the opportunity to kind of try and play it.
There's a hint it'll be in the next week or two. I would say it's more going to be in the 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
So would I.
Again, I was taken back by SnowRunner, and it was completely different from what I was expecting. It was more a game. I didn't expect Ubisoft like moments where you have to go to a watchtower to open up the map and all that sort of carry on. It is a game you can just chill out and have some fun with. Again, I'm actually surprised we got some of these announcements here, because I'm expecting to become a bit of a Sammy's away to get this wine. There's the rumor.
And do you know what? I just thought that. I literally thought he's off to the vineyard, isn't he?
Yeah. And where was I going? I'm expecting the news to touch wood, or not touch wood. It should start to calm down because we're coming into funny season here with all the game announcements and all this. What we'll probably find in the week up, running up into the big E3 shows, even though we're getting the Summer Game Fest, there is going to be a lot of crossover. The lead up to E3, I think we're going to get some game announcements going. Did you enjoy your wine?
No, sorry. I had a knock at my door. I was just trying to check out what it was. No, it's all good.
It's all good. It was probably your wine delivery.
It's the priest. What the drunken you saw to be.
So I think we're going to see maybe a tail off of any sort of announcements for the next couple of weeks while we start the big push towards E3. But these games coming to xCloud, absolutely class to see, backfilling some of the other ones on PC and things as well. But the 2 EA games coming, good signs. Hopefully we're going to get a lot more. We need FIFA and other ones there as well.
EA games?
Yeah.
Any particular EA games that might be coming out in the next few months?
Or today?
Is it out today?
Yes, it is.
Oh, no, not that one.
The Battlefield.
No. Yep.
PGA.
Oh, Barry knows.
Oh, F1. F1.
Yeah, F1.
Yes.
An EA game, once again. They're getting EA Play games coming up to xCloud. Obviously, this is some slightly older, or some more niche titles coming onto xCloud. But hopefully that opens the door for obviously all the games. But in our case, we've got a bit of invested interest in F1 coming to cloud.
Yeah, I definitely hope so. We were talking about this yesterday, actually, the fact that it's on a free play weekend. Maybe, hoping, fingers crossed, that it may well come to the cloud in the next week or two. It would be nice to get it in the cloud, hopefully in the run up to July for the launch of 2021. But we shall see.
Yes. I wouldn't hold my breath with it going to xCloud unless during E3 we get the announcement that you can buy games and they're available on xCloud, which we know is coming at some stage, because that's the ultimate goal there.
So when xCloud becomes its own, I suppose it'll be a semi-platform at that point.
Yes. Okay. Awkward pause. Bingo. Knock that off.
Let's go. Yeah.
Anything else more? Just to say, I've been playing. I know it's not xCloud, but I've been playing Mass Effect on the Xbox. Absolutely phenomenal. If you have not played that, and speaking of F1, it's actually a free weekend as well, along with Gears of War on Xbox this weekend. If you've got the full fat system, it's not available on xCloud, but if you've got an Xbox, you can jump in and do that. And I will leave that there. I will not finish off.
No worries. Oh. Everybody's gone for a drink. That was two people drinking at once. There's another one for the bingo card.
Yep.
Bingo card. So onward to the next one.
Onwards and upwards. Should we go?
Oh dear.
We'll only cover this briefly because it's not strictly cloud related. This is more to do with PlayStation versus Xbox. But obviously Biomutant, which I suppose as a cloud gaming link is a game coming day and date to GeForce now. Released some gameplay videos on various platforms, and once again, an argument which 10 years ago wouldn't have made any difference between resolution and frame rate has crept in, because the PS5 version is 1080p upscaled to 4K, and the Xbox Series X is currently 4K native. Now, this doesn't make the slightest bit of difference, to be honest, because 1080p is more than fine, and they say it's just going to be temporarily on PS5 at 1080p. A later patch will bring it up to native 4K. But the gaming community, much like the the other community will probably get onto later on tonight.
I was going to say, don't do it. Hold the rant back. Hold the rant
maybe
back.
Not. Has decided to. We've seen a lot of tweets going on about console wars and PlayStation 5 versus Xbox, and I think we're just all sick of it. Okay, I can't really speak for Barry and Duncan. I'm sick of it. Play the games where you want to. I'm looking at buying a PlayStation in the near future, mostly because of the exclusive stuff like xCloud on PS5. This is why I shouldn't let to ramble.
Yeah, here first.
But stuff like Ratchet and Clank, Gran Turismo, some of the big PlayStation exclusives are games that I grew up with, or series I grew up with. I want to play them on the latest gen consoles. That's why I'm getting platform. In terms of games I enjoy playing, play them where you want to. If it happens to be Stadia, if it happens to be GeForce Now, Xbox, PC, PlayStation, just play them where you want to. Don't try and get into a point scoring match with other platforms.
Completely agree, Sammy. I could not give a hoot where people play. At the end of the day, you play where either one suits your budget, suits your choice, or whatever it is you want to do. Play where you want to, play where you want to play. Don't get me wrong. I know, there's always a vested interest in kind of doing comparison. In kind of, especially as we've just gone into a new generation, you've got people that are eagle-eyed to see kind of like what is the raw power of the Xbox Series X, what's the raw power of the PS5, and I think when you kind of
we won't know for another 18 months.
Of course we won't. Absolutely we won't. I think it's one of those things when, yes, it's temporarily, people are just making a big deal about the fact that it's 1080p 60 frames per second. If it's stable, is it good enough? Absolutely. If it's literally turned up to the max, it's absolutely spot on. If you can get 4K native at 60 frames per second and it runs stably and you've got the ability to consume it and enjoy it, brilliant. But it comes back to the choice that you make as to where you want to play and whether you can kind of consume it in the in its maximum capacity. That's the way I see it anyway.
Yeah, with this here, I just found it a bit interesting. I'm telling you now, the 4K 60 is coming to PlayStation 5. I think that's why it's just a matter of when it is coming. I think that's why they actually held back the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 footage. I think they're trying to get it. They were trying to push right up the end to get it, so it will be coming. It is going to be priorities here, and I'm telling you that it is going. They've got the Xbox version, they've got the PC versions. Next priority is going to be the PlayStation 5. Get that 4K 60, assuming there's no major bugs coming out from when everybody starts playing, and then it's going to be
a massive game gets released and there's major bugs in it. That doesn't happen.
That never happens, and then it will be a Switch port, and then maybe a Stadia port down the line, because it actually mentioned Stadia in their frequently asked questions. So shout out to, I think it was Rick Tung, who actually signed. Was it Rick Tung or was it someone else? It might have been Rick or someone else. I thought it was Rick. Well, I'm going to give Rick the credit. There you go, Rick. You've got the credit, even if it wasn't you. I thought, or maybe. I don't know. You know what I'm like. I just read so much stuff and everything just moves into one for me. But Stadia looks like there's a possibility of it coming to Stadia at some stage. So, but I think it's going to be long finger, and I think it will be after the Switch.
Excellent. I was trying to. Yeah, I think I was doing this. You and me were doing the same thing. Actually, I think we were listening to the back end of what Duncan said then and just processing it.
No, I'm just, if we're trying to keep to an hour, we're doing well at the moment, but obviously there's not as much related to cloud on this, so I think we can park that and move on to GeForce Now, which has got Biomutant day and date.
Sorry, hang on, there we go. I'll take it away. Go on.
GeForce Now, I swear I put the, well, I might not press save. But that was last week's GeForce Now banner.
Okay, I will fix it. I will fix it.
I've got it. I'm on it.
No, I've done it. I've done it. I've done it.
I'll talk about it whilst you're doing that. So GeForce Now, I made it works. Thanks very much. Making me think of my feet there. I'm trying to remember what I actually put so I can talk about it.
17 games, and they have also announced that a game is coming day and date, which just went out from my head, the new Devolver Digital game, which is going into early access.
Phantom Abyss.
Phantom Abyss.
Yes. Yeah.
Grant 5 day and date releases were announced this week a lot in the conjunction of those 17 titles. Obviously, the Phantom Abyss is coming later, but that's why the news was out slightly later this week. But yeah, they had a good, they had another good kind of collection of games, in terms of a bit of variety in the titles this week. And I'm trying to remember what the 5 day and date games were. We've got 41 Hours, which is coming. Help me out, Duncan. We only did this yesterday.
Saints Row Remastered.
Yes.
That's not day and date, is it?
And it is day and date because it was day and date on Steam.
Yeah.
Oh, see,
okay. Saints Row Third Remastered is on Stadia right now.
Yeah, but this is there was a timed exclusivity with the Epic Games Store, and this is then on the Steam version of the game, and the Epic Games Store is now available as well. So it was 41 hours. Sammy, Just Die Already, Siege, Survival, Glorious Fictitious, and SnowRunner again. SnowRunner's a day and date release on Steam.
You made a joke about it. I did take a look at that Just Die Already game. It's it seems like a good laugh, actually. and again, something you guys talk about what's a typical Luna game. I'd call a game like that a typical GeForce Now game. In that it's a little bit indie. You don't really know what to expect, but you go in. It clearly looks a good laugh. You're not throwing loads of money at it, and because it's on GeForce Now, and they keep advertising the fact you don't need the gaming PC to play it anymore.
Yeah, definitely. And we were talking about the fact yesterday. I think Just Die Already was the one we mentioned as being one that's probably going to be best consumed with friends. Because I think when we went through some of the reviews, there were kind of some people had said if you try and tackle it solo, it maybe gets a little bit boring, like relatively quickly. So it'd be one of those ones that obviously, if you can try and get a group of you together, I'm sure you'll have a great laugh.
Yes.
Team play along?
Possibly.
Maybe.
It reminds me a bit like Human Fall Flat sort of thing, with a bit more variety. And again, we said this last night on our GeForce stuff. We are trying to get a lot more GFN stuff out now, just because we were just going through the library and there's just a fast and other.
There's a lot of stuff to be done with GeForce Now. I know I'm looking at increasing stuff on my channel for it. Obviously, we know about stuff that's coming up on this channel. The other thing I was going to mention, talking about GeForce Now and streaming, I have noticed recently they've been, much like Stadia have done and much like Luna have done, they've been asking larger streamers, people much more popular than us, I know, to go and stream some games on that platform. I saw one person whose name I can't remember right now, but he was playing some Dead by Daylight on Twitch, using the platform. All of these are sponsored streams, so GeForce Now going out making deals with streamers to get the platforms out there in the wider eye. I think as with Stadia, as with Luna, this is the right decision to be making, the right direction to be taking.
Yeah, something we've been touching. Sorry, Barry. Stuff that me and Barry have been talking about I think over the last month or so. I think there's a definite step out by GFN now to get out from there, just a companion to PC gaming. I think they're trying to actually push out here and actually become a fully fledged platform of their own. There is obvious steps out there which they need to overcome. But every couple of months, there seems to be big, giant steps forward in making it more easy to use, getting more games, getting these games out there in front of people, getting logos on the games, things like that. There seems to be a big splash here. I think they're looking at it. I think they've been watching Microsoft, to be absolutely fair, what they're doing with the Xbox, where their Xbox are positioning as a companion, but the long-term goal is for everybody to jump on. I have a feeling that GFN are doing something similar. They've targeted the PC market, and they've got a lot of people on board because of 11 million people are now users. Again,
Up that number.
Yeah.
Well, the last time I heard that number, it was 10 million. So.
Oh, it's 10 million. I'll just make up these numbers.
I thought you had more up-to-date figures. I don't know.
It was like 10 million users. Again, not all of them are going to be paid. Not all of them are going to be using it, but that is their user base at this moment in time. I think they are going to be making big, massive plays going forward and getting these games day and date, and actually doing other things as well, which I can't go into. It's just, I think it's going to help them out majorly down the road. And when the Brazilian servers switch on here and all these other ones, it is just going to massively increase. And I think we're going to see it even speed up even more. And we're going to see more and more investments by NVIDIA into this as more and more people use the service.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that we're coming to the end of month 5 of the year, the sheer amount of games that we've had so far, some of the day and date titles that they're coming, the upgrades that they're bringing and they've announced to the platform to kind of make people's experience better. It speaks volumes of a platform that's making waves and certainly trying to kind of step out of the shadow of just being a kind of a PC gamers kind of market. There's a lot of people who may be PC gamers who are seeing the benefit for when, components are failing or they've got an old PC that they can no longer run up-to-date games. And as they bring those kind of new day-and-date titles, it's nice and easy for them just to now fire up the GeForce Now app. They've got their Epic library, their Steam library, and literally it's quick and easy to just jump in and enjoy some of your back catalogue, but also the new ones as well at great quality. Carry on.
I was just going to say, I think this is actually playing into that game that got the Phantom Abyss game, because that game, we'll talk about games which have the potential to blow up. I think that has the potential to blow up. It is only going to be on PC at the moment. It is going day and date to GFN. So this could be a big, massive opportunity if this game is absolutely massive and it becomes like a Fall Guys and it just spirals from there. They could market the life out from this game and say, come play it here, come play it here. It is going to be real interesting going forward here. GFN is just with the moves they are making is really, really exciting me. And since this new year, the only people who can sort of are topping them is Microsoft, because they are just buying people and just dumping a ton of money. If you just look at it as a broader thing, I think GFN have just been knocking it out from the park nearly every single week here, or they've been knocking it out from the park this whole year. Not every single week, but just over this whole year, they have just been absolutely smashing it. Valheim's on it. We've got this new game coming. We've got Biomutant coming. They've just been grabbing the key games at the right time.
Yep, they have. And talking about games, obviously, as we covered yesterday, Duncan, we did a short video, short by our standards, so I think it's about 15 minutes long, with the Epic sale starting yesterday and the £10 coupon. We put together some very quick recommendations of some great bargains that you can grab, to kind of add to your library on GeForce Now. So it's worth checking that out, because a lot of those games were kind of sub £10. I think we listed about 8 or 9 titles, and I think with the £10 coupon you've got at the Epic Store at the moment, if you spend over $13.99, we'd pretty much got to a point where vast majority of the games, with exception of maybe 1 or 2, were all sub £10.
And I think we were both in agreement with the steal, not the steal is probably the wrong one. Probably the one I would recommend the most, and I'm gonna say you'll probably recommend this one the most, is Death Stranding for £15, about $20 mark with the coupon off.
I added it to my library last night. $11.99 it cost.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. I was actually saying it's costing more, $11.99 for that, so it'll be $15 mark for Death Stranding, and you can play that on GFN. So that would be the number one pick. Was there any Diablo like ones?
I can't remember if there were. If I'm honest,
this is a comment in chat earlier, wasn't it?
Yes,
yeah. I've lit Charles down here, haven't I? I haven't done the research while we were talking.
No, it's all right. It's not. I'm really happy. We've been talking away here.
Sorry, Charles. Thanks for watching.
Charles, we will get back to you. We will send you a message on Twitter, and we will get that. But there is quite a number of games you can get on Epic here, and that sale is immense because when you buy one, just to confirm, Barry, when you bought Death Stranding, did you get another coupon?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So there you go.
It was very difficult because I was like, I want to add Death Stranding to my library. Added it and got another coupon. I was like, maybe I should buy something else.
yeah, they're going to make a lot of money with that.
Yeah. Charles, with Mortal Shell, I believe it or not, despite my reputation, I can step back and go. I can recommend these games outside my bubble and go due to reputation and how people have been enjoying it. And I know people like Souls-like games, and I do know people do like Mortal Shell. So if you're looking at a Souls-like game on a cloud platform, Mortal Shell will be is probably a good pickup there. And I think that was with a coupon off as well, wasn't it? I think
$7.99 after the coupon, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I think that's worth a shout there for $7.99 if you're into Soulsborns or Souls-like, whatever way you want to say that. But I know people are conflicted on the Epic Game Store, so I understand why people don't buy from it. But if you're not into that sort of the political sort of thing, there's absolute bargains. And my number one pick, if you don't have to worry about cloud, is the Kingdom Hearts deal. Get the £10 off that. Get your 3 months of Disney Plus as well for was it like 30 quid or something?
23 quid, I think, wasn't
it? Yeah, for all that. So we will move on to Dum Dum Dum.
Right, I'm just gonna just say before we start this, we have 15 minutes before said pro predictions or our targeted pro predictions.
Yep.
However, the topic is.
Whoa. Hey. I got to shut up now.
There we go. Let's open the door to a lion's den. Earlier this week, a game was announced for various platforms. I believe it was a Souls-like game. The name Lies of P. I think that was the name of the game. It was announced for PlayStation, for Xbox, for PC, and as far as the press release goes, that was it. That was all these press journalists got. Some press outlets also put Stadia on the list. Then they realised that, hold on, Stadia is not on the press release. We should probably take this off.
Can I interrupt you there for one tiny thing here? xCloud was also mentioned. It was lifted from IGN. It was Stadia and xCloud at the end.
And just to confirm, was xCloud taken off IGN afterwards?
xCloud was also taken off at the end.
Okay. I suppose the big problem is the xCloud community didn't come out and say, "Oh, why did you take this off?" Or go to other game journalists and say, "Why didn't you say it's coming to Stadia?" And try and perpetuate this myth. And I'm going to call it out as a myth that the gaming media is biased against Stadia. Again, this is one of the things that I've noticed recently. There are people that will call out journalists either specifically or through subtweeting and sarcastic, snarky remarks that the game's not coming to Stadia, or they do say the game's coming to Stadia and it is, or trust the journalists. If they've taken something off, it's probably because it's inaccurate. This Life of P game might, I was going to say Life of Pi, something. It's Lies of P, isn't it?
Lies of P, yeah.
Lies of P, there we go. This game might be coming to Stadia later on down the line. We don't know that. We can't say that. We can accurately report that IGN once said it was coming to Stadia, but they've taken that down. It's to say that it's coming to Stadia and to attack people for saying it's not coming to Stadia when we don't know any better is ridiculous. Basically, just people try and remember that other people are also people. People are human. People make mistakes. Stadia might have been mentioned. It might have been something copy and paste from another article. A tick box on their database was pressed incorrectly. That's all it needed to be. Please do not attack journalists for stuff like this.
Yep, well said, Sammy. I think it doesn't just happen in game journalism. There are journalists who print stuff and then have to post updates, retract, amend, or put a notice on there to say that something was highlighted to be a mistake in the original article, and they've subsequently removed it. It's one of those things that kind of that happens. But yeah, absolutely, by all accounts, nobody should it shouldn't be pitchforked at dawn when somebody updates an article to say, oops, we made a mistake. It's maybe not coming. But that does, obviously I know when you did the show notes for this evening, you've put that question there, when is a game confirmed? In your mind, Sammy, when do you take it as, in your head, confirmation that a game is confirmed for a platform?
I would take an announcement from the developer or the publisher or the platform saying this game is coming here. Now, of course, that doesn't necessarily mean the game is actually coming to the platform. It might be cancelled later on in the production cycle. We don't know. But to draw conclusions when a platform is even mentioned in a press release, like we saw this week, that's where that question is really trying to draw a distinction. The game was never confirmed for Stadia.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, to be honest with you, that's exactly why I asked the question, because I kind of felt it kind of rather important for you to kind of clarify that, and in certainly the discussions we were having.
Okay.
Duncan?
It's Duncan's turn. Duncan. Strap yourselves in. Yeah. We have got 5 minutes.
Oh, we've got 5 minutes. Okay. I was ridiculed. I was everything under the sun again. Duncan, you don't know what you're talking about. Duncan, you're wrong. When I said this ain't coming to Stadia at this moment, it's been a whoopsie. And I think the red flag for the whoopsie should have been xCloud mentioned on it, because it would have been the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and it actually said xCloud, so I think they've just accidentally added something in there. So again, they had the devs have came out and said there's no plans, and it's really funny that I find it funny anyway, but everybody's calling people liars and things like that about a game about Pinocchio. So I just find that
it's a fair point.
I'll be frank again here. For flip's sake, I shouldn't really be frank, but
you need to stop being frank. Your name is Duncan.
Duncan. Yeah, the Stadia community and the focal minority who are going down and chasing down these journalists are giving the Stadia community a awful name.
And we should also add, it's being noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these people, these vocal minorities are being noticed by the people they're attacking.
Yes. Here's the thing: journalists do not mind getting corrected if things are wrong. If something comes out and it's wrong, if you're polite and go, I think you've done this a bit wrong. Could you just double check that, or something? Something along them lines. They will go and have a look. But coming out and saying there's a vendetta against Stadia. Stadia is you're victimizing Stadia. That is not happening. And unfortunately, I think it's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy, because of what is going to happen here is the focal minority who are going here after these journalists are going to get the journalist backs up, so they will be looking to hit Stadia when there is something to hit them with. Is that a conspiracy? No, it's when they get the ammunition, they're going to use the ammunition, and when there is something positive to talk about, they will still talk about it, but they won't make a big song and dance of absolutely all the announcements coming to Stadia, because at this moment in time, most of the announcements for Stadia are not worth the time and effort for them to write up, because there isn't enough things and all that. It's just don't go around attacking, basically, because there is no vendetta against Stadia. Or sorry, I will rephrase this because I know I have to be careful with my words. The majority of the journalists out there are not out there to go after Stadia. There is going to be a couple, but the vast majority are going to report on the news one way or the other, and a lot of the Stadia news is on the negative side, and it's still on the negative side. And the hanging shadow of Stadia Games and Entertainment is not going to be going away for a very, very long time. We are going to be talking years before it goes away, because how long did it take Xbox to recover from the used game fiasco? It took many, many years. It is going to take many, many years for Stadia to recover from that. And that is going to, it may sound harsh, it may sound unfair. I'm a realist. I just know it is just anytime there's going to be a Stadia article and it is slightly negative of tone, there is going to be dropping that Stadia have shut down their first party studios.
I think that's the thing. I've kind of got to the point now where I kind of, I don't know, I almost kind of, I want to say wince, or you know what I mean? I see something drop which may contain completely factual information about Stadia, but because of either the outlet that it's come from, the journalist that it's been written by, I just sit and look at it and go, oh, here we go. That, you know, the masses are going to come in saying that this outlet's wrong, the information's correct, you know, they need to go and do their homework, this, that, and the other. And I think I think you're right. I think in terms of the platform, as a community of gamers, I think that there are probably a minority which are giving the majority that enjoy it a bad name, which is, you know, in life, it's the same, isn't it? Quite often, things that are spoiled by the few, but everybody gets tarred with the same brush. And I think we're in a very similar position here now, where there is what I would say a collegiate of people who will come out and will actually call people out. They'll be aggressive. They'll be attacking this, that, and the other for kind of articles and pieces that are written and made. And then you've got the other side of the community that will just sit there and go, do you know what? I'm here to play games. I'm just going to enjoy it. If it is going to go downhill, it's going to go downhill, you know, but I don't care. I've got my controller. I'm going to sit and play games because that's all I'm really interested about. And I think that's the element that, I kind of do find wrong, because I think systemically the collegiate that also do that are also the people that kind of refuse to see or refuse to acknowledge some of the facts that actually are being out there. And I think that's my biggest thing. I really enjoy Stadia as a platform, and I think I'm in line with probably zero games for me. I do feel like my Stadia gameplay quality has dropped, and I know me and Duncan have talked about this a couple of times. I'm seeing it. When I've played, that doesn't mean I want anything bad to happen to the platform. I'll still use it. I still do use it. I still enjoy it. It's a case of it's a service. It's there to be used, and whatever happens. But that doesn't prevent me from being in a position of being true to myself and saying what I feel like my opinion is or how I feel about the platform. And I think that's the thing that people have to realize, isn't it?
I'm going to agree with Zero Games for me. Stadia used to be pin sharp for cloud gaming. Yes, it was absolutely it was working absolutely phenomenal for me. But over the last couple of months, it has started to go. And this week we were on with Cloud Gaming Dad doing Trine 4. There was a couple of times during that stream where, even though I was having fun and I think everybody was having fun, the amount of pixelation and things like that which was happening during that was getting close to unplayable. And this isn't me going, "Oh, you're just saying this because you hit Stadia."
This is an individualized experience. For me personally, I haven't had those issues.
Yep.
I had a few issues today. I was trying to do some stuff on PlayStation Now. I think mostly because we had some massive wind in the south of the UK where I'm based. Going through the last 24 hours or so, I had to abandon the video because quality was just so poor. Cloud gaming is not consistent across every single person, every single gaming session. And I don't think it ever will, to be fair. This is something you've got to realize. Sometimes Stadia will be absolutely perfect. Sometimes it won't. You might notice a trend at some point. Your experience might be completely different to someone else elsewhere in the country, as indeed it is. I'm not having anywhere near as many difficulties. I can't blame on other factors like my own internet.
That's the beauty and the curse of cloud gaming is it lowers the barrier for everybody to enter, but everybody's experience is going to differ, and it could differ on a daily basis.
There we go. It could.
I think that's a good place to leave it for tonight.
Well, I just want to add one wee tiny thing. One time, we have a new social media manager at Stadia.
We do, yes. We did mention this on Monday, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
I was drunk, so I forgot.
Yes, and I can't remember her name.
It's...
Chakra.
Is it Chakra? Yeah.
Yeah, I know this was another big, massive point for people this week was why wasn't this picked up on the mainstream media? Just to go back to that really quickly, it's because it's not news.
It's not news. No, it's news if you follow Stadia. Mm-hmm. If you follow gaming in general, it's not. It's
yeah, and I can tell you, I am playing with an Ethernet cable, so that is. Yeah, that as well. But with that, if it is big news in the Stadia community, outside the Stadia community, it's nothing because it's just someone's got a new job within a gaming thing. Not every move warrants a news coverage, and that does not warrant news coverage. I'm going to say this: I think it's a great get for Stadia. She's been really interactive on Twitter. You can see, and she's coming from Pokemon as well, which is a big, massive brand. And I think we're starting to see some of the work she's doing with some of the posts and stuff. Like the one here tonight, there seems to be a bit more variety of them going out now, so which is great. So I'm hoping this is going to be a good thing going forward.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like we said on Monday as well, tying that in with the new senior marketing manager, hopefully it kind of brings to a little bit more of a stronger digital presence.
Yeah, because I think that you get the digital presence right, Stadia could take off and really help out. So I'm just trying to enter the positive. I think it's really good that there is a full-time person on social media now or in charge of the account, and hopefully this will push Stadia on.
And it's someone with a proven track record. as you said, someone from outside Google coming in, something you said previously they needed in relation to the John Justice role. But I think the same thing applies here. They've got a proven track record. We can see, oh, you've done well with Pokemon. We can have some confidence in you going forward for Stadia.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will finish that there. We're finished now, but if you want some more Stadia goodness, we're going to be nice and positive coming up here. We're going to be doing our Stadia Pro predictions, where we talk games and what games we hope are coming to Stadia Pro, or what games we think are coming to Stadia Pro. And I'm going to make a thing at the beginning. Which, yes.
I guess that's it.
He's going to make a plea to have won the Stadia Pro predictions for May because he called Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
It wasn't on the stream. It wasn't. Have this argument on the stream. People watching now, go over to our other stream. We'll be there in a few minutes. Bye.